Tell me about one of the biggest good things that is going to be happening.
Well, there was a YMCA in Michigan City for many years, and they were no longer able to operate, keep their facility open, probably, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago this coming year. And we petitioned right away to have Michigan City as our service area, because what a lot of people don't understand, Ys are independent. We were not part of the old Michigan City Y, but we knew that there was a need in that community. So we did that step just initially, so if we looked down the road, we would have the ability to bring that programming back. So it's really been a grassroots effort to educate people about what the Y is about, our mission, and to not let the experience that they had had with the previous Y, deter them from embracing and welcoming a Y into their community again. Obviously a challenge once we got people on board, and we had members that would come over to the Porte Y. We also have a little Long Beach branch. Some people would go there, but transportation is a big barrier in Michigan City. We needed something in that community. So once we got over that, where people were enthusiastic, and the pool, that's the number one thing. We need a pool, we need a pool, we need a pool. But to look at trying to build a facility, to build an average size YMCA, you have to raise $15 million minimum, and that just was not something that the community was going to be able to financially afford. So we've been brainstorming. We've had a task force put together for almost 3 years now, and we've strategically picked people connected in the Michigan City community to help us start doing the fundraising and to help us start reaching out to connections of places where there could possibly be a location that we could use with a gym, or pool is not quite as easy to find. Yeah. And when you talk about one door closing and another one opening, Michigan City School Corporation has been faced with some pretty significant financial struggles, and their administration has done, I think, an absolutely remarkable job of weathering some tough storms. And I think Dr. Eason Watkins is quite the lady. They're very lucky to have her. And the first day I met her, they had a meet and greet for her at a chamber event, and she said, "You're at the Y, we're going to get to know each other, because collaboration is what's going to make a school corporation work." And here we are, several years later, and when their first round of cuts were done a few years ago, they had to eliminate their free preschool program. So she reached out to us knowing that we had a high-level quality accredited child care center. So we took over their preschool programs in several of their elementary schools. So that was kind of our foot in the door for them to get to know us and for us to really have more reach into the community. Then with this last round of cuts, they had to eliminate their elementary sports program. So she reached out to me to see if we would be willing to organize the elementary sports program so the kids could continue to be involved in extracurricular activities. So we've partnered with the Salvation Army, the Park Department, and Safe Harbor to we've each adopted 2 schools, and they've been wonderful partners to work with, which then took us to the next level. They had to repurpose these buildings, and they have this beautiful, well-maintained building. I was very impressed the first time I walked in Elston that is sitting there, and they needed to repurpose it. So her vision was to turn it into a place where different organizations throughout the community could have a home that they could call, they could keep their facility, but turn it into something that would be positive for the community, with a pool, with 2 gyms, and with all of this stuff. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better plan. So they had a tough obstacle. They had to close the door on that being a middle school, but then this other door has opened for us to turn it into an anchor for the community, is what our long-term vision is for it. So we're excited. We've been embraced by the community, and like any Y, the success of it is going to be dependent upon those people stepping up to help us make it happen. We're going to volunteer coaches, and we need staff, and we need people to help us get it cleaned and painted and ready to go, and that's where we're at right now. We actually kick off the renovation, starts on Monday.
It really does come full circle then.
Yes.
In terms of the impact that you can have.